206.
Well, it's too late because the episode started and I still don't know what it is. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Good Burp. Welcome to episode 54 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Nunez. I'm here with Mark, Josh, and Austin as per usual. Unsurprisingly, Josh is at work. He's doing it from his car. He'll be delivering pizzas. Mark is eating a brownie. Austin is nowhere to be seen, but he also has a Baconator. So, today, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. It's a little-known sporting event. Not sure if you have heard of it.
Nope.
But it is coming up this weekend. And instead of doing like a cool, or not cool, a smart, well-informed Super Bowl preview, which you can get from everywhere over the next 6 days, maybe even earlier this morning on the Hot Stove on WQAQ. But we're not going to do that because I don't know. We were looking at other stuff before we started recording here, and we're gonna talk about a lot of silly prop bets that might be fun. That's basically it. That's what we're doing for the show today. So, should legit. And when I say this, it's usually the kiss of death, but it should legitimately be a shorter episode today. So that's good. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. That's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube side, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, and leave a comment if you feel like commenting. Before we get started, though, we do have a little something coming back today. Now, it's not going to factor into our standings. That's only for a football thing. But I did mention at the end of the football season that we would continue doing FanDuel contests throughout the year because it's fun, and I like the competition. So we're going to be doing a contest for, the golf season's starting to heat up.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting to get hot. This weekend, big tournament this weekend. Or at least I think it's a big tournament. I don't really know.
It is.
It feels like a big tournament. And that is the Waste Management Open.
Don't thumbs down the Waste Management Phoenix Open. You really do hate fun.
Phoenix is
Josh
dump.
hates fun so much.
That's why they had to name it the Waste Management Open, because Phoenix is a dump trash city.
No, it's just a sponsor. That's how sponsorships
Also,
work.
it's not a dump trash city. I really enjoy Phoenix.
Have you been?
Mm-hmm.
Josh is like, things
Sounds
where people
hot.
have fun.
Phoenix sounds too hot for me.
That's why
Yeah,
you go
you
in
get sweaty
February when
right.
it's only 90.
Yeah. Anyways, that's this weekend. So we're going to be doing our lineups. But first, I want to remind you that earlier today, Hot Stove made his return to regionally broadcast radio. So be sure to check it out every Tuesday morning. WQAQ. It's in the Twitter bio. So follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod as well. Josh and I are on it. Mark's not on it anymore because he has a day job to go to.
Yeah.
Of course, Josh missed today's episode because he was driving to Philadelphia for the Sixers and Suns game in the car with his family. So Josh couldn't make it today.
That's unfortunate that Josh couldn't be there, which means that instead of getting a Super Bowl episode, you're just going to listen to me react to the Oscar nominations live on air. That's what I'm going to do.
I wish I could be there.
Tomorrow morning, I'm going to not watch the nomination show and then literally plug my computer into the studio and play it and react to it on radio. It might be the worst. It might be the worst hour of college radio you'll ever hear, or you have ever heard. Again, past tense, but it'll be fun for me, I guess. I don't know.
It was fun.
Yeah. What'd you say?
It was fun.
It was right. Sorry. It was fun. It was really fun. It was such a good hour of radio. It certainly didn't feel like a waste of anybody's time. Certainly didn't feel like me just showing up because I have to, right? Or else my show will be taken off the air. It definitely didn't feel like that,
It was way better with Mark's in-depth description of the new infrastructure plan.
Well, see, here's the problem. Mark won't.
I wasn't there either because my radio show starts
Mark
at 9.
wasn't there this morning because his
Oh.
day job that he doesn't get paid for starts an hour earlier now, so he can't. He wasn't able to be on the radio show. This is getting really out of hand. Like, this is an awful bit, and honestly, it's just getting more confusing. But tune in next week when Josh will be on the show, hopefully.
That's right.
And we'll talk about something. We don't really ever know what we're going to do when we go into those shows. So the Oscars thing was fun today, but next week, Josh and I will talk about sports, maybe. Anywho, before we talk about Super Bowl prop bets that we really like, let's go over to FanDuel. Like I mentioned, Waste Management, Phoenix Open.
Good out.
Burped right into the microphone. This is
fantastic.
This might be the worst 6 minutes of podcasting we've ever. Waste Management, Phoenix Open. Who wants to start with their lineup for one of the first big tournaments of the year?
I'll go. I'll like to preface mine that it is subject to change due to potential injury. Or when this guy I follow
Josh cheating.
Yeah, or when this guy I follow on Twitter gives me the lineup to use. And so I'm going to start off with a couple of classics, a couple of down-to-earth guys that you really want to root for, and then a couple of big dogs up at the top. Let's start with the loser of the round, okay? Until everyone's favorite Nazi returns to action, we find other losers to hitch a ride to. And for that, this tournament, I've found Garrick Higo, okay? Garrick, welcome to the show, loser. 8,100. You're on my team now, okay? I pick you. So good luck to Garrick. Along with Garrick, probably one of the swiftest mustaches on tour. Had a really good week this week. Joel Damon, however you pronounce his last name.
Damon.
Solid Damon. Yeah, who cares? Solid guy, solid golfer. Next up, another Barstool guy, another guy. You know, in a hobby. It's the Kiz, Kevin Kisner up there, 9,400. And then that left us some room to really go after the big dogs. Got to get out there and eat. Okay, Seamus Power is an absolute stud this year. Guy looks like he's Tiger in his prime. Cannot be beaten. Well, okay, hasn't won an event all year, but he cannot be beaten. Okay. Next up, a guy who was primed and ready to dominate this last week until an injury kept him off. I think it was COVID, actually. Who's to say? Daniel Berger. Okay. Time is up. It was his back. Sorry. He's up. He's ready to go. He's driven now. And then the young kid from where is this guy from? Norway, I want to say. Norway, Mark's.
It's Norway.
Mark's favorite young buck, Victor Hovland of Norway, and that's gonna round out my top 6 there.
All right, Austin, why don't you go next with your FanDuel lineup for this weekend? If he's even here, he's muted right now. Mark,
I'm drinking liquid battery.
I'm here.
Okay. Wait. Before you start, Josh, are you drinking a Rip It right now?
Yeah, this one's for the troops.
Oh my God, that's like the worst flavor.
No. The orange creamsicle flavor is by far the best.
That's what I said. That's why I said that's the worst flavor. Orange creamsicle is the best flavor. We talked about this recently.
This is the orange creamsicle.
Oh, is that the orange creamsicle? I thought the Troops one was like lemon lime one.
Yeah. This is also, it's now a tribute one as well. It's camoed.
Okay. Never mind. That is the best flavor.
Yeah.
All right, Austin, what's your lineup for this weekend?
I went with Josh. You know, I do have some stinkers on here. My first stinker has finished top 15 in this event twice already. Looking for his revenge this week after being sidelined with COVID last week, and that is Bill Haas.
All right.
That's about all I have to say about Bill.
His brother Charlie was a WWE wrestler, I think, back in the day.
I have heard of Charlie Haas.
Well, Bill Haas was dominating at Pebble Beach before he was yanked off the course in the 4th round.
Kicking and screaming.
He was shooting 38 under, and nobody knew about him. And then he got yanked off the course. Then I went with 2 middle-of-the-road guys here who are just tearing up the course, averaging over 100 fantasy points per game this season. and that is Billy Horschel and Russell Henley. Two solid guys who both haven't missed a cut this year, even though it's early. I mean, he's participated in 7 events, still hasn't missed a cut. I mean, this guy's on fire. We're just looking for guys to make it to Saturday. That's the goal in these lineups. Then my 2 big dogs before my biggest dog. My 2 big dogs. I have them in every lineup. Jordan Spieth. He's had 2 great tournaments, 2 not so great tournaments.
That's the Spieth experience right there.
This is the Spieth experience. Hopefully this is a great one. I mean, he's coming in second. Maybe, this is his time to shine. Another top 5 finish. Who knows? And then the best player on the tour, Justin Thomas, averaging 125.92 points per game in 5 appearances this season. This guy is unbelievable. Coming off, his worst performance of the season, finishing 20th. I mean, what are we talking about? Worst performance, 20th? Guy's an unbelievable stud. And then my favorite guy here, he's averaging a whopping 103.38 points per game in 10 appearances, and that is Taylor Gooch.
The Gooch.
The Gooch man
is a freak of nature who has only been terrible out of his last 5 events. He was great in his first 5, but trends like that you just can't pay mind to.
All right. Well, I've got, I got a couple of guys on the bottom that may not be performing too well this year, but I like the upside. I think they got good upside.
Oh, I got one of those guys too.
Call them bums and move on.
7,800 Sebastian Munoz, always underpriced, always makes the cut. Outside of this year, we're going to ignore the 4 out of 9 cuts made, but prior to this year, always made the cut. Great upside. I believe he's got a top 5 finish this year already. So at 7,800, I like that value. Doug Gim has made 7 out of 8 cuts. I believe he's got a top 15 this year, if I remember correctly.
You can look at their FanDuel page and see that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Thanks too much, John.
Yeah. It's nope, not liking this. No.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm just, no, let's see. He does not have a top 15. I thought he did. But Doug Gim, 8,000. Just solid guy. Expected to make the cut. Might be in it on Saturday and then not have a very good Sunday. He's that type of golfer. Aaron Wise, who's been really good this year out of nowhere. Finished 5th at the CJ Cup. He's got a couple other top 15s in there. 8th at the Shriners Open and 15th at Mayakoba. So I like the way he's been playing this year at 8,800. I think that's pretty good value. Then I got the big 3. And 2 of them have already been mentioned. I got Victor Hovland, the kid out of Norway. The kid's a stud. Absolute just bomber. I've got Justin Thomas, who, like Austin said, pound for pound, up there in terms of golfers on tour right now. And then I've got the guy that Nunez and I lost money on this past weekend. I've got Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay's been playing out of his mind as of late. Didn't have the greatest Sunday at Pebble, but it's Sunday at Pebble. What can you do? Patty Ice is going to have the ice flowing through his veins as he walks down 16 at TPC Scottsdale and 15,000 people are chanting his name. And he's just going to stick it to 2 feet on Sunday to take a 1-stroke lead heading into the final 2. Give me Patty Ice.
All right. Well, we'll move on to my lineup here. Mine's pretty different from everybody else's, so that's cool. First of all, 8,300, averaging 81 points per contest. He's made 6 to 7 cuts. I like to have an Asian sensation in my lineup, and that's Hyung-Hoo Lee. Never heard of this guy before. He's probably...
Neither have I.
Probably nice with it. Next up is Aaron Wise. He's been playing really well this year. He's got a top 5 finish at the CJ Cup, a couple other top 15 finishes.
Just went through that.
8th at the Shriners Open, and then 15th at Mayakoba. He's been really good, kind of underrated in terms of the price pool this year. 9,900. We've got another guy who's already been mentioned. That's Russell Jesus Christ, I had a stroke. Russell Henley, another guy I've literally never heard of, but apparently he's playing well so far this year. And again, I know nothing about golf, so don't hate me if I've never heard of the guy. And then we're kind of playing the hits for the last three guys in terms of my kind of picks. So third highest in price here, ain't been too great, but we talk about guys who can rebound. We want to talk about guys who've only participated in 3 tournaments so far this year, average about 75 points per tournament, but he's still up there because he's one of the best damn golfers in the world. That's our favorite Afrikaner, Louis Oosthuizen.
Vintage Nunez right there.
He's got a new shirt in his FanDuel picture.
Oh, that's always a good sign.
New picture for Louis Oosthuizen, so that's good. Then we've got Scotty Scheffler at 11,000. That guy's good at golf, from what I hear. Yes,
I have a question. Sorry, I'm a golfer behind there. I didn't get it in time, but I still got to fit it in. Do you think they made Louis stand on a little stool so he could get his picture taken with the new shirt, or
probably he's not a very tall man? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a golf play, but I want to get it in there just to make sure everyone remembers these. I'm gonna go back to reading this thing.
Yeah, he's a short.
No, that is an important question. Does he tee off with a stool?
Do they make bigger? Do they make bigger?
It'd be pretty fun. It'd be pretty fun.
Only guy on tour that plays in stilts.
And then finally, continue to play the hits for me. That's Xander Schauffele. I don't know. I pick him all the time, so I picked him again. So that's it for FanDuel. We'll break down those results next week. We'll move on to the Super Bowl here. And first, before we get into some wacky prop bets, I do want to look at the game in terms of like a general sense here. So give me 1 second. This was a terrible idea. I should have done this before we started, because DraftKings has 2-step authentication, and it's going to take me about 10 years while I vamp here to get the odds pulled up. And there's the sound, because I had to get a text to sign into my
like the line in the game.
So I found it.
4.5.
Yeah.
Well, according to DraftKings, as of right now, it is 4 points. So we've got some action, moving it, and shaking it. You got -4 for the Rams. Over under is set. The total is set at 48.5. The Rams are -200 on the money line. Bengals are +170. I gave a bit of analysis and a pick in my class that I was in today. And loosely, generally speaking, just to cut to the chase, I'm leaning the Rams. I expect the game to be close, but I did have my final score prediction as 28-24. So the thing that sticks out to me a little bit there is that over. Over 48.5. Now, what sways me here is that the Super Bowl is historically a low-scoring affair. They say defense wins championships. A lot of times, those boomers would be right. So, given that pick, I think the only thing I'm going to swing towards here is the over. And I'd like it even more if there was some action that moved it a little bit. We could get it down to 48, maybe. Ooh. I could kick it down a half a point. Ooh. What about you guys? What are your guys' general feels on those?
Well, I'll go. I think I'm going to say this where I'd be absolutely shocked if the Bengals win, but I think most of the money is coming in. Like big money is on Rams -4, probably -4.5, and then the public loves Joe Shiesty, so they're going to kill the cover. I think the cover is going to hit. I think it's going to be like Rams -3, but I'm more sure in just the Rams winning. So if I'm betting anything, I'm just going to lay the juice on like a -195, a -205 money line for the Rams, because I'd be pretty surprised, I think, if the Bengals win. Both teams were like shockingly mediocre, I think, at points in this season. And so I'm excited for a good even playing field here that should lead to a good game of back.
Yeah, I can't say how like legitimately excited I am for this game. Honestly.
I'm excited, barring Matthew Stafford having a Matthew Stafford game, considering he did lead the league in interceptions this year, and he could go out there and just look like Pat Mahomes in the second half last week and then put up a stinker. And this thing could be very much not fun.
He could. That's true.
He could get out of hand quick with that guy.
Yeah, generally speaking, you both know, or you all, there's three of you, know how much I like chaos when it comes to sports. And this has the feeling of a chaotic good. You know what I mean? When you're looking at like your D&D squares or whatever. Because like people like both teams. There aren't people that like hate the Rams or I can't think of one person that I've ever seen that like legitimately like hates the Bengals. You know what I mean?
Austin.
Like
Austin.
No. But in the way that like, you know how like Steelers fans hate the Ravens?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Steelers fans don't hate the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Browns fans don't hate the Bengals like that, I don't think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This seems like a generally like really likable game. People like Matt Stafford. People really like Joe Burrow. I like both of them. I like both of the teams. Go football. I'm like Rob Lowe last year at the NFC Championship with the NFL hat on. That's me this weekend. I'm here for football. I'm excited for a football game, you know?
Personally, I agree with Josh. I think it'll probably be around a 3-point game. So I personally will be taking the Bengals plus 4.5. I do like them to cover that spread. I probably think the Rams are going to win, but I think it'll be a close game, and I wouldn't be shocked at all to see the Bengals pull this one out. They just seem like we always like to throw around the team of destiny thing. That seems like the Bengals right now. So I'll be laying my money on 4.5, and I do really like that over 48.5. I tend to lean that way as well because I think both of these defenses, which the Rams surprisingly, like their defense has been okay, but probably should be better given the names that are on that defense and the ability that we know they all have. But I'd be leaning Bengals 4.5 and the over 48.5.
My greater analysis on that is that the Rams defense is really good in all of the ways that the Bengals offense is not, which is kind of generally speaking, like they're not. I can't. Here's the problem. I can't even say that the problem with the Rams is that like even with Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd, like they've had a really hard time generating pressure from the outside this season. But you get over that by having the best defensive player in football eating up double teams in the middle, and then a first ballot Hall of Famer who has really come on in the postseason also eating up double teams on one side. You know, it just creates a numbers mismatch, basically. And it's an even worse mismatch for an offensive line that is bad, certifiably bad.
I mean, on paper, this is a rout, right? I mean,
no, I don't necessarily think it's a rout. I can't see us like I don't really see much of an argument for it being a rout. Partially because, you know, like I don't know. I find it hard to get to a point where we're in a Super Bowl and it's like a overall mismatch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the Bengals this playoffs have a game where Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times. He threw for 380 yards and they won the game. Like I feel like that, like going into it's like, yeah, if that's when their offensive line has a bad day and he can still put up numbers like that, I'll take that.
Yeah. What the hell was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. One of the things that honestly I'm really interested to see in this game is how often the Rams actually blitz. Because they don't necessarily have to, but like I said, they kind of do because they have a hard time generating pressure with base. So in that situation, if you go back and watch the Chiefs game, Joe Burrow was getting the ball out in under 2.5 seconds when he was getting blitzed. And like sneaky important person here is going to be CJ Uzomah. Because again, this is the thing about the Rams defense is that they're really good in one area and they have arguably the best corner in football, but they have okay. They're very, 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 very weak. I'm just gonna brush over that because that's ridiculous. They're very, very weak over the middle of the field. You know what I mean? Like their linebackers in coverage in general, but particularly their middle linebackers are not good, generally speaking. So it's going to be a matter of getting guys open in the middle of the field while also trying to get the ball out. So like I would not be surprised if their game plan is lots of screens, get people in space in the middle of the field as much as possible, try and keep it away from the sidelines kind of deal. Like I feel like that would be smart. And it's worth noting actually that now we get into like more specific bets here. One thing I really like is going to be, again, I don't know what the odds are. Give me 1 second so I can look at it. Bengals third quarter money line. So I don't know if you know, the Bengals are the best third quarter team in the NFL this season. An example of that was literally 2 weeks ago against Kansas City. So the Bengals are plus 110 in the third quarter. That's all I'm saying. All right. Just watch out for that. Wow. But Austin, do you have any general impressions before we get into other stuff?
Well, I mean, I can give everyone here the best bet of the game. I've been going back and forth between two bets that look really good on paper. They're exact score bets.
Oh, boy.
And I'm torn between Rams 41-17 and Rams 37-20.
Jesus Christ.
Both would have to include a Bengals backdoor touchdown to even get that many points.
The worst.
But what are the odds on that?
I'll tell you, if CJ Uzomah limps onto the field and somehow plays, I'll tell you what, more power to him. He's going to get jacked up.
First we got, Mark, let he without sin cast the first stone. You did just call Jalen Ramsey garbage, so.
Guys, stinky poo-poo.
Yeah. Okay. Jalen Ramsey, last time Tom Brady ever threw a touchdown. Fun fact.
Have you watched him this play? He's getting burned by Mike Evans. He's dropping wide open interceptions. He can't catch a ball. The guy's bad.
Yeah, he drops one interception, and Mike Evans catches a touchdown on him, and he's suddenly the worst quarter in the NFL. Understandable.
He was getting burned left and right by Evans in that game. He didn't stand a chance.
You understand how good Mike Evans is? This would be a different conversation.
Apparently, everyone doesn't understand how bad Jalen Ramsey is.
Yeah, again,
he's the best corner in football. He's not getting burned like that.
It's just incontestably false. You do know that corners lose. That's how things work. Otherwise, receivers would just not catch
the entire game.
If Jalen Ramsey, if the best corner just won every matchup, the number one receiver in a team that was playing the Rams every week would just have no catches for no yards in that.
He should do that if he's so good. Everyone treats him like God.
Yeah. Okay.
Guy's bad. Can't catch a football.
What's next? You're gonna tell me Trayvon Diggs isn't that good?
Yeah, I can pretty easily prove that Trayvon
gave up over 1,000 yards this year.
How can you say Jalen Ramsey's the best quarterback in the league? How many interceptions he had this year,
Oh,
huh?
not for nothing, but this is why interception numbers are fun, and this isn't even really to harp on Trayvon Diggs in particular, even though he was not very good this year. part of the reason that the best corners aren't necessarily always the ones that lead the league in interceptions is because they don't get thrown to as much.
Brady threw to him plenty in that playoff game.
Because he kept getting toasted when he wasn't picking balls.
I think it's silly to say that he wasn't good though. Like that's the part. That's how he plays. He jumps routes. Sometimes he gets burned for thousands of yards in a season. And sometimes he's gonna get a pick every goddamn game. I mean, what? You laugh, but like that's the give and take.
Corner of the NFL. Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes it's an adequate give and take though. Like what do you mean? Yes, he's gonna jump routes. Sometimes he's gonna get the ball. Sometimes you're gonna get toasted. That's
not just jumping routes. You realize that, right? Like he is.
He's just actively trailing.
So you think? Yes. Wait. You think that the only times this man ever gets beat deep or on a deeper route is because he's quote jumping it?
He's jumping it, or he's like trying to trail it to get a go on it. Yeah, he's like taunting the guy to throw it.
Did you watch old man AJ Green beat him deep? There was no trailing or baiting or switching or going on anywhere. He got burned by AJ Green.
Oh no.
The skeleton of AJ Green. He got burned by.
I mean, you win some, you lose some. A receiver. That's my whole thing. I saw him in like the best catch part of the Pro Bowl. That guy should just be a receiver.
I mean, Nick Saban's the reason why. They had too many wide receivers at Alabama. He said you're gonna play corner. And then he did.
Yeah, it's not even like a Lamar Jackson should be a running back kind of thing. It's like this dude is clearly talented at catching footballs.
Yeah, he should be a receiver because he can't stop any of them.
Okay.
Can't stop him. Maybe he could like try and get open himself. He seems to do a good job of letting other people get open. He understands how it works, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Lamar Jackson should be a quarterback, just like, any quarterback for Army is a quarterback.
Oh, shut the hell up. Shut up. Stop. No.
Lamar Jackson's a quarterback in the same way that Josh Allen's a quarterback.
Honestly, never before have I thought that it's more racist when people just call Lamar a quarterback or a running back than those same people not calling Josh Allen just a running back.
Yes.
Bullshit. Which is why I like to break the barriers and call them both running backs. I'm progressive.
The worst. All right. Before we get into some exotic props here, we're going to get on to some general game props. And I have 4 written down that I would like to. First of all, first drive points at plus 150. Now, you know what you're thinking. It's the Super Bowl. A lot of jitters, right? First drive's probably going to be a 3-and-out. But I'll take plus money on Money McPherson kicking a field goal on the first drive.
Mm-hmm.
Or Matt Gay, something. I don't know. All you got to do is score points. It's not first drive touchdown. It's first drive points. I'll take first drive points at plus 150. Second one, Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp. For this bet to hit, they have to combine for 15 receptions, and each receiver has to have 80 yards. It's plus 150 on DraftKings. Those guys be catching footballs. And they be scoring yards. All right? So, boom.
Yeah.
Another one. Another one that I liked. I think it was also plus 150. A couple of cross sports bets here on DraftKings. So the Celtics and the Hawks play earlier that day. First of all, higher total. The combined points of Trae Young, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, or Jamar Chase's receiving yards in the Super Bowl. Combined points is at plus 105. Normally with this kind of weird thing, I'm just going to take the plus money and see what happens. Similarly to, there's another one that's Hawks points or Cooper Kupp receiving yards. In my mind, it's more likely that a team in the NBA scores 100 points than a receiver gets 100 yards. Generally speaking, and again, special circumstances. I understand that. Cooper Kupp is like 160 yards away from setting the all-time postseason record, so watch out for Narrative City. But, again, one of those things I'm just going to err on the side of plus money. And then finally, since I'm picking the Rams, and I don't necessarily think that it's going to be like a super offensive explosion for them. Like I don't see Matt Stafford throwing for like 404 or something like that, right? Cooper Kupp having the third highest odds to win MVP makes sense. Obviously, he's behind both of the quarterbacks. But Cooper Kupp at plus 600 to win Super Bowl MVP, I like those odds. As a person who's going to pick the Rams, I like those odds. So Cooper Kupp plus 600 Super Bowl MVP. Anyone have any general bets on the game that they've seen that have stuck out? Anything like that?
Oh, I've got some placed already, my friend.
Wow.
What do you got for us?
I've got 3 guys to score a touchdown in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I parlayed them together. Cooper Kupp.
Rams defense, Bengals defense, and Joe Burrow.
Yep. No, it's the usual suspects. It's Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and Odell Beckham. Parlay them together, plus 675. Feeling it.
Oh, I hate that sound. Sorry, I just hate when I hear all that chalk on the chalkboard. Just my ears.
Listen, I'm just trying to make some money here. All right, I don't give a shit if it's chalk. I don't give a shit whatever it is.
I get it.
I've also got both quarterbacks to throw over 1.5 touchdowns. So both quarterbacks to throw at least 2 touchdown passes.
So you guys both think it's gonna be pretty high scoring. You're both on the over, so yeah.
Yeah, I do
think
think
it's
it's
here's the thing. I don't necessarily have it as pretty high scoring. Like I said, I have my total for my prediction was 52.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's kind of high scoring, but also in that sense, it's 7 total touchdowns between the two teams. And if that's going to be the case, right, four touchdowns by one team, 3 touchdowns by the other. If that's the case, then I would definitely take both quarterbacks to throw for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, it may be considered an exotic prop, but I've got tails never fails. So wow.
Yes.
Tails never fails. So
tails never fails. And I understand that's at minus 110. Obviously, complete 50-50 odds.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally statistically how a coin works.
Caesars has it at plus 100 even.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So I got it at plus 100. So that's just straight up double your money.
Damn. But tails never fails.
Minus 110. Is heads the favorite?
Apparently, heads is the favorite.
No, they were both plus 100.
I was kidding. We got heads at minus 120. What?
Tails at plus 100.
How's it favorited? It's a 50. No. I got a guy. I'm using a weighted coin.
Speaking of which, when it comes to the coin toss, there's something important that everyone should know. And I told Mark this before Austin and Josh hopped on. Important note when it comes to live betting the game. So you got to wait until after initial books have closed to do this. The team that has won the coin toss has lost each of the last 7 Super Bowls. So do with that information as you wish. Whether it's due to win or the streak is going to continue, do with that as you wish. I'm just giving you that information.
So if you win the toss, you lose the bowl?
The last 7 teams that have won the coin toss in the Super Bowl have lost the game.
Have they all kicked? They all deferred?
I don't know. I just know that every single one that's won has lost the game.
I feel like last year, the Chiefs had to have taken the ball first. They were probably like, give me the offense. Let's go get a touchdown.
Well, they lost. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
As is tradition.
So like I said, take with that information as you wish. Josh and Austin, do you have anything in general before we get into some weird shit?
I got 2.
Okay.
Got 2 big ones. The best player on the field at any given time, OBJ, first touchdown scorer. It's like plus 850 right now. I feel like that's pretty good value for a guy who is targeted a lot in that area, especially inside the 10-yard line. Then my second one is one, I'm not on the Bengals. Bengals stink. Everyone knows it. But there's one on FanDuel right now that is team to achieve the first down in the game. And the Bengals are plus 105 right now. All that for me is the Rams win the toss and defer, or the Bengals win the toss and take the ball. I think they don't have to score. They just have to get 1 first down. For the Rams to be minus 125,
What about the
Makes no
jitters,
sense
the
to me.
big game?
It makes no sense to me. Why would you get plus odds for a thing like that? Bengals to get the first down. Plus odds. Give it to me.
I like it.
I will say OBJ is not even the best receiver on his team, so I don't know about that. But I do love. I told Nunez about this one. Keep an eye out. Cooper Kupp needs 161 receiving yards.
I would have
Break
just
the
mentioned this
postseason
like
record.
two minutes ago.
Did you really?
Yep.
Fuck! I was delivering that pizza. God damn
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah. It was while you're doing it. But anyways, you can go with the odds on it. What are the odds?
No, suck me. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I mean, I didn't.
Cooper Kupp's not the
Okay,
best
cool.
receiver on that team.
What? I like Van
I mean,
Jefferson.
he's probably the hardest working, smartest player on that team, but
He's the grittiest player.
He's got the
Yeah.
most
gamer on his team.
between the ears. You know.
he's certainly the more likely of any receiver on that team to become a head coach, but that's about it.
Oh boy. Yeah. So I was looking to see if we had alternate lines here on receiving yards because Cooper Kupp's his total is at 106.5. And if I could take it would be like plus 800 for him to get like 170. I'd take it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, because you got to figure when the game is 34-10, they're going to be like, Cooper Kupp has a record to break.
Right. When the game is 56-0 at halftime, they're going to be like, oh my God, we should probably give him this
And
record.
that feeds perfectly into your Bengals third quarter money line because the Rams will be taking knees by then.
Right. That's good. All right, so we'll move on here to the national anthem.
Woo!
Mark, who's the lady that's singing the national anthem?
It is. I already forgot her name. Where is it? Here it is. Mickey Guyton.
So Mickey Guyton is a woman that I've heard of before.
Not me.
Don't know much about her, but I do know that she is a country singer. But what I also know is that the line for this national anthem, in terms of its time, is a historic low. 1 minute and 35 seconds is the line. There's the total for this national anthem. Now, Mickey Guyton has sung the national anthem in a similar forum, like an event, twice before. Those two times, she clocked in at a minute and 27 seconds and a minute and 29 seconds, I believe, which would lead you to think over, right? Or would lead you to think under. My apologies. Right. Here's the thing. Here's the wrench that I've been talking about with some of my the people in my program here. She's a country singer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what country singers like? America. And you know what? Nothing says America quite like singing for a long time about America.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that it doesn't even have to be a long time. It's at a minute and 35 seconds. You look at the last, let's take a look here. I got the last 15 Super Bowls up right now.
Yep.
The last country singers to sing the national anthem. Last year, Eric Church did a duet. That was at 2:17. We've got Luke Bryan, 2:04. Carrie Underwood, 1:47. That's the over. We kind of ran out.
Yeah, that's about it.
Country singers there. But anywho, I got a feeling that even though money's going to be on the under because of her previous track record, I think I'm going to take the over here. And we talked about in classes that it's all going to come down to that high note on free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my professor was like, "Oh, it's all going to come down to that note," and then he was like, every single time. We learned today that my professor Barry Sachs is a degenerate when it comes to betting as well.
Hell yeah.
He's talking about how he bets on the anthem every year, and he was like,
Let's go.
he's like, every single year I'm watching the TV, and I'm like, just stop singing, goddammit! Just cut the note short. I was like, Barry.
Who bets the under?
This is my point. The
under
under has hit 3 out of the last 5 years, but those are astronomical numbers. When Luke Bryan sang it at Super Bowl 51, it hit the under, and he sang it 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah.
The over
Is this girl
is 1:35?
So a woman, I gotta think it's going a little over just inherently, right? Want to do a long riff or something?
Well, last
Really?
woman
Yeah.
solo to sing it. Let's go with the last 5
Her,
women
right?
to sing it. Last 5 solo women to sing it. We had Demi Lovato, 1:49. Gladys Knight, 2 minutes and 1 second.
Whoa! That was within the last 5 years. They pulled out old Gladys.
That was 3 years ago.
Damn, on that midnight train.
Pink, 1:52. Lady Gaga, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And Idina Menzel, 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
You know those Broadway girls.
There are only 2 anthems to go under 135 in the since Super Bowl 41, and that was Billy Joel and Kelly Clarkson.
People like to get to the point.
Right.
Respectable.
And you know
Billy Joel can't hit those notes.
Yeah.
the country singers. They respect the flag too much. They're going to be singing for way too long.
Oh,
So I think I'm going to take the over here on 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Absolutely. I agree.
I like that. Switch.
What else do we got? I mean, is there any other interesting bets regarding the national anthem?
I think this would be a fun little topic here. How do I bet an enormous amount of props and have a lot of money on this game while watching with a girlfriend who thinks that I'm, kind of slowing it down on the betting front? How's that?
I thought you were going to say, how do I do that without actually betting on the game?
No.
Because you can make a lot of money without even betting on the actual game, my friend.
Well, yeah, I can make a lot of money by just not betting. That'd be great. But, saving my money. No. How do I get away with that? I mean, I'm going to have to show no emotion. I'm just going to have to be the guy like, oh, Burb, you say you got action on my 35 props that I put in on this. Oh, you got, I'd be like, oh my God, he kneeled here. You had a knee in the second, right? And then until you went down. What? Oh,
no,
yeah.
just tell us about your FanDuel Super Bowl bingo,
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
There you go.
Say I came out of retirement for one game to make a big. Okay.
Yeah, the bingo board is free. You don't even have to put money on it.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think she knows because I've been at her house and stuff. Like we'll be on the couch and I'll literally be hiding it. I feel like I'm having an affair. I mean, I'm not, but I feel like gambling is my affair. I mean, I have a problem. Austin, I see how you look at me now. I'm a degenerate. I get it. I got a problem here, and that's all right.
Yeah.
She, I think she knows. We're just not talking about it. So I just got to be like Rico Suave with it.
Rico Suave.
I do have a guy that I like to be shown first during the national anthem.
Yes.
And that's America's sweetheart, Joe Burrow. I think they're going to immediately go to Burrow.
Oh, see, I'm on the opposite.
You think it's going to be Stafford?
Partially because Joe Burrow is the favorite. He's -130 and Stafford is -110.
Well, actually, McVay and Cooper Kupp are the favorite. They're -150.
Sure. Yeah. But I was thinking of the two quarterbacks.
Are there any? Is this just a player thing, or are there any vets in attendance that are like being honored at the game? I want them first.
I don't know, but this is just people on the teams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So in terms of the two quarterbacks, my opinion is that it's Matt Stafford -110 seems like a lock of the century. First of all, it's going to be a Rams person because they're playing at home. That's my first guess behind it. And Matt Stafford, it's not like Matt Stafford doesn't have a storyline going into this game,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I gotta say that Matt Stafford is gonna be the first guy shown.
I saw there's odds on like whoever the MVP is, what they thank first or who they thank first in their speech, and like it's like God, coach, teammates.
Trust me, we'll get to that.
And then, okay. Well, we were talking about they were talking about on Syracuse Talk Radio actually this morning as I was driving home, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, if it's Matthew Stafford, can you say like another organization? Should he thank the Lions for like first and foremost? I'd like to thank the Detroit Lions for saving my career and trading me away so I could have a chance." And I was like, "Damn, that'd be pretty funny," but I don't see that happening.
My
Not
first,
that many
my response to Mark on that was that it's going to depend on who wins Super Bowl MVP.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
for example, if it's Cooper Kupp, like I think, like I will have money on Cooper Kupp to win Super Bowl MVP. I think he thanks God first.
Yep, I like God. I like God for pretty much. I mean, Stafford's a God guy too, but he's a big wife guy. You got to think about these guys being whipped.
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp's
yeah.
whipped.
Stafford
like
does have 13
Stafford
kids.
might thank his family first.
Yeah.
Stafford is whipped. Yeah, I mean, sure, wife had cancer, but he is whipped for sure.
Like,
And I
imagine
think like teammates is the safest
He
bet.
mentioned the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, plus the three kings before he mentioned any of his teammates. I love how.
Oh, but I think you could get good value on City. Imagine Joe Burrow wins.
Yeah.
You think he starts with, first off, shout out to all my fans in Cincinnati?
He might.
I don't know. He might.
That's why I said in this
Ohio guy, yeah.
who you think is going to win Super Bowl MVP. I love how owner is on here. Like any player is going to thank the owner first in their acceptance speech.
Maybe Brady after his 6th. He's just like, oh yeah, and Kraft.
I like the does not mention any. Thank you. I attribute this to nothing but myself.
Plus 1,600 on other. The hell else? I want to thank the grounds crew here at the stadium.
I want to thank my dog for being with me.
Yeah. I also like, will any player propose to his girlfriend on the field after the game? Again, there might be though. Like, is Joe Burrow?
I'd have to research that.
Yeah, I'd have to look and see if anybody on either of these two teams is in a long-term relationship but not yet married.
Right. Like, is Joe Burrow? I think Joe Burrow's a bachelor, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a bachelor.
It's like, if Joe Burrow had a girlfriend and they won the Super Bowl, that motherfucker is giving that woman a ring on the field.
Yeah.
What if the girl proposes to the guy? Then what?
I think that counts. That probably counts.
It says player proposes to girlfriend, does it not?
True. This is bullshit. Like, what if a player wins the Super Bowl and then comes out as gay and proposes to their boyfriend on the field?
Yeah, that, you know what?
Yeah.
This is not a very inclusive bet. I don't like this. I'm not. No.
It should just say player gets engaged on the field.
Yeah.
Mark, my favorite bet here that I'm looking at, and I know that you've got this, is what will happen to the price of Bitcoin during the Super Bowl?
Up. Hammer the up. It's Bitcoin is going to skyrocket during the Super Bowl. Let me tell you. There's going to be some like special Bitcoin sponsored NFT that comes out at halftime, and it's just gonna go through the
sponsored NFT.
I don't know how that works, but no, I've got the price of Bitcoin to go up during the game. That's minus 125.
Where are the commercial bets? That's what I'm looking for here.
I do have 2 commercial bets.
Oh, okay. Wait 1 second. I'm back. Owner. Everyone should thank their owner. They got them there. Second, people who they could thank other than the normals. Maybe Harambe, right?
Oh yeah. I'd like. Oh my
if Cincinnati wins, someone could troll very well.
It was Sam Hubbard who was talking about that this week, by the way.
Sam Hubbard.
Like, imagine if Sam Hubbard has 5 sacks in the Super Bowl MVP.
That guy.
He's absolutely thanking Harambe
Yep.
first. He's already set it up.
Yeah, they really did there. That was pretty much the only thing I think that I remembered that I had to add to that. There is a fun commercial prop of over under 6.5 dogs in commercials. Or commercials with dogs. 6.5 seems kind of high.
Yeah, 6. That's the thing. 6.5 seems high.
I'm taking the over. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. People want to see dogs that'll make them happy.
But like, even if you had one commercial with like 10 dogs in it, that's only one dog commercial. You got to get to 7. I don't know. That's a lot of dogs. You think in a random like Doritos ad, they're just gonna have a little pup?
They might.
Yeah, actually, they could.
See, that's the thing. The dog doesn't have to
People
be the
love
focus of the
dogs.
commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it
right.
could just
I
be
mean,
a
It just
family
be
walking around their
in the
house.
commercial.
Now, you know what's really, you know how it's going to hit? It's going to hit the over on some bullshit. You never see the dog, and then at the very end, the family's going to be on the couch for a photo, and somehow the dog is with them cuddling, and they'll be like, there's a dog! The dog's there! It counts! It's a dog! It's going to be some bullshit like that. You're right.
Oh yeah, the
Take the
last
over.
commercial of the game is gonna be Joe Burrow, and they're gonna be like, Joe Burrow's a dog.
Does that count? So like, is it just anything on the broadcast? Like, you know how they run the commercial for Disney World at the end of the game every year?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if
Yeah, does that have a
does
dog in
Goaty
it?
count?
I think it's before the game officially ends.
Well, this is what I'm
What-
saying. Is it before the end of the game or before the end of the broadcast?
I think it's before the 60-minute, like before the clock strikes 0.
Because I don't think they switch over to like if you look at the TV guide,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Does it switch over to a post game broadcast or is it still all looped in under the
I
Super?
think it does, but I think that bet would be until the zeros hit. Also, Universal Studios is not Disney at all, right? It's a separate thing.
No.
That'd
Very
be great
separate.
if they're like,
Actually,
where are you going?
Universal was founded in spite of Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
That's-
I was just clarifying their separate entities for the guy to be like, where are you going this year? Be like, I'm going to Universal Studios, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck this. Woo! They just get pumped up. I mean, how much money would they get paid? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Who else they could thank first? A random I'd like to give a thanks to my own personal sponsor, Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes helps me perform on the field. Like just some random sponsor that a guy's got.
You mean like Peyton Manning plugging Miller Lite when he was doing his Super Bowl MVP
Yeah.
thing?
Mhm.
Or be like, thank you to Nationwide for powering me to win my last Super Bowl here before I die. Appreciate you.
Some real Ricky Bobby shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got
OBJ thanks the
Big
Browns.
Red
OBJ might thank the Browns if he wants.
He might.
tonight. Yeah.
I think I actually have the
Or-
empty your bank account lock of the night.
OBJ, here's the thing. If OBJ wins, I think he'll just throw a shot, but thank his dad
Yeah.
for getting him
Yeah.
out of England.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your lock of the night, kid?
Yeah.
I don't think I can actually find this on any book, but on this website, how many times will the chains be used for measurement?
Yep.
Be under 1.5. Okay, hear me out. How many times in a game do you see the chains get brought out and the ref pull the chain and do the thing?
Usually
Maybe-
maybe once.
Maybe once, and that's if the game's close, and I'm not saying the game's going to be close. In a non-close game, these guys aren't pulling out the chain.
They just give him the first.
They just always give them the first, so that you only see the chains get pulled in a close fourth quarter game. So you're asking for two chain pulls in the fourth quarter? I just don't see it happening. At minus 120, if I could find this on my book, I would deposit 10 grand right now and put it all on that.
Well, my empty the bank account lock of the night. I mentioned it to Nunez before the show. If you think Booking.com is going to play before Expedia, I mean, what do we do? Expedia to play before Booking.com minus 150 or 115.
Fuck.
Lock it in. Expedia's been there.
Depends on what brand is going to have a commercial first.
Expedia is the grizzled vet. They've been there. They've done that. They want their commercial out of the way early. It might be first break. We're looking at Expedia. So I'm taking Expedia and running.
I really want to do. I met a guy in my program last semester who worked in the equipment stuff for the Washington football team, the now Commanders, and those guys have to know the Gatorade color, right? Like they're on the sidelines, they're in there
For
and
sure.
They probably work with the Redskins or the football team played the Chiefs this year, so they probably maybe have some insight into what potential Gatorade they're using. I mean,
Yeah, but I assume they use different Gatorade throughout the year.
that's what I'm saying. But every team's got to have a preference, right? Like your guys got to be like, yeah, I like the orange one. You know, I mean, this thing has to be. There has to be a guy you can contact
Yeah.
within
Mhm.
the organization.
The
I mean, it's not like
equipment
they're having
manager would
blind
likely know
tasting.
that information.
Exactly, and I
Mark-
want it.
Mark had a theory earlier that the color would depend on who won because either team, specifically the Bengals, would have a color resembling their team color.
Of course, the Bengals. I think if the Bengals
Like
win,
Mark said that
orange.
if the Bengals win, it's absolutely orange, and I don't
you blue
agree
for
with
the
that,
Rams?
but
Blue or yellow, I guess, right? I mean,
here's another one. How about this? I don't have the odds on me right now, but one of the longest odds is a clear liquid. You got to remember that
water.
this is the half of those buckets on the sidelines are water.
Mm-hmm.
They could grab water. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
Because they know which ones have Gatorade in them.
I feel like they intentionally go for the Gatorade.
For sure. Yeah. But just saying, water is an option.
Hot day in LA, all out of Gatorade?
Yeah. Exactly. Finally, before we head out here, we're going to look at the halftime show. Star-studded halftime show this year. Now, artists to perform first. It might be my lock of the night here. Third highest odd. Mary J. Blige has higher odds to perform first than Snoop Dogg does. It's got to be Snoop Dogg.
I think it might be Mary J. Blige.
Why?
Because I think they might start it out with like something slow, get the anticipation building, and then they come out with a bang.
That's fair.
So I like Mary J. Blige in this one.
Dr. Dre being the favorite annoys me because, first of all, like, what counts as performing? Dr. Dre is not really a rapper. He's not going to be the first person to rap.
Yeah.
I think it's also going to depend on what song they open with. Because obviously that'll determine who's performing first, right?
And I have a pick for first Dr. Dre song performed. It's got to be still Dre, right?
It's got
the second highest odds, but I feel like, or maybe that is what they open with, and Dr. Dre does open because you hear that piano. That'll get the people going.
You're thinking of Nothing But a G. Oh no, you aren't. Never mind.
No, it's still Dre.
Yeah, I was thinking of something else. First of all, first song performed got to be California Love. I understand why that is the favorite.
This was just first Dr. Dre song.
I know, but yeah. I'm looking at something else.
Yeah.
It would kind of be, so here's my favorite one. Eminem's first song, plus 900 at Stan. That would be fucking ridiculous.
There's no shot he plays Stan.
No. Austin, what are the odds that he plays like Kim first? What are your thoughts on that?
That would be the only way I would enjoy the halftime show.
What's the
anything else?
Your question?
What's the Austin? What's the one relapse song that I think both of us sadly know all the words to? 3 a.m.
3 a.m. in the morning.
Put my key in the door. And body's laying all over the floor. And... Yeah. What if he opened with that? That'd be crazy.
Oh man.
I mean, does he have to play? He has to play "Lose Yourself" at some point, right? Which is kind of whack for a halftime show. Like that'd be a pregame thing. Like I don't want to hear "Lose Yourself" at halftime. Like,
also, I do like under 10.5 songs at plus 265.
No, they got too many people.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Eminem's gonna want 3. Snoop gonna go on for 2.
No, but I don't think it's gonna be like this guy goes, then this guy. I think they're gonna join in on songs.
Well, yeah, it's certainly gonna be a medley.
Yeah, it's a mash for sure. But even then, I mean, if one M and Dre and they all mash up for 4 songs in 2 minutes, man, that's 4 songs.
I think we're forgetting Kendrick Lamar here too, because he's the draw for the kiddos. He's the draw for the younger generation.
Shit I've ever heard in my life.
Is he in it?
Yeah, Kendrick's in it.
All right. I'm slowly losing faith in this halftime show. There's too much shit going on.
There's way too much.
You said Mary J. Blige too?
Yeah.
You're gonna dig her up? Thought that bitch was dead. All
right. Let's be honest here.
What?
This will probably be, I'm going to take a wild guess, the best halftime show in a while. Because most halftime shows have been bad.
That's true.
And if I'm going to look up the list here.
The weekend was weird.
Oh, no, I really liked the weekend's performance last year. Never mind.
It was good, but it was weird. Like, there was, like, all the, like, GoPro shit and selfie
I thought the show was really cool.
What about Katy Perry and the Sharks, dude?
But
that was
you gotta remember,
a decade ago.
A while ago. Yeah.
I all my Super Bowl halftime shows, they mold together. I missed so many.
All right, never mind. The J-Lo and Shakira one was also good.
What happened? Was that the Pats Rams?
No, that was Chiefs.
Who did
Niners.
that one?
No, that was Chiefs Niners.
That was the one we all watched together.
Yeah.
The Pats Rams one was Maroon 5. That one was terrible.
Yeah, that one was ass.
Good. Yeah, I was asleep. I was bricked. I was passed out at that point. I was blacked out. I mean, I fell asleep during the Super Bowl. But that's
true. I think Josh actually went upstairs and took a nap during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you picked a good one to do it in.
Yeah, I came back down. I was like, how many? Oh, 13 to 10. I was like, wow, what a doozy. What a doozy. Damn. Sick. That's the good one.
Also,
yeah, I'm looking at this, like, this 2012 one is like the most 2012 Super Bowl ever. It was Madonna while she was doing her, like, comeback thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
CeeLo.
Right. It had CeeLo, Nicki Minaj, MIA, LMFAO for some reason, and also an appearance from Cirque du Soleil. It was the most, like, let's just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what happens. The Black Eyed Peas one was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to go back to just being one superstar who commands the floor.
Coldplay.
The last time that happened would be like JP.
That Coldplay one was ass and a half.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, cannot stand Coldplay. So
Timberlake's was dookie. No,
I didn't hate
selfie with that kid in the crowd, right?
I assume, Mark, your favorite one is going to be some boomer shit. Like, you probably loved The Who in 2010.
Prince in 08, dude. That's the best halftime show that there ever was.
To be fair,
it was.
That's not boomer shit because Prince in 07 was probably the best halftime show of all time.
Yeah.
I got a real hot take. Prince sucks.
That's
my hot take.
Can we kick him from this call?
I mean, do it. If we're going to praise that guy.
That's such an awful take. It's not even funny.
I like his music.
But yes, I did really enjoy the Springsteen one. The Springsteen one was also very good.
Every other 50-year-old man really liked them, him, and then Stones in 06. Like, those are your favorites.
I don't really remember the Stones one all that well, but also Snoop to smoke on stage plus 300, hammer it. Weed's legal in California.
Can you broadcast someone smoking weed though, like that, like live?
Oh yeah,
sure. I don't know why not.
Yeah, well, they show it in shows and stuff.
It's just a matter of whether or not the NFL wants him to.
Yeah, I doubt they want him to, and I feel like if they tell him not to,
but also
he'll do it anyway.
You sign Snoop though, like you have to assume that this dude's just gonna do it. I mean, nobody controls Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg does what the DOW
and he's like,
to do.
He's just like the weed guy.
Yeah, that's his thing.
He's gotta.
It'd be like if you hired like Bert Kreischer and you were like, "Hey, don't take your shirt off, okay?"
That's true.
Don't do that.
I gotta get inside this podcast that I gotta send you guys once we're done recording. It's really funny. But anywho, that'll do it for our Super Bowl betting preview. Episode 54 of the pod. Somehow, this was an hour long. Shocker.
Of course it was.
But beforehand, now that we're done with the episode, I remind you people to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. There's a dog. Hit the notification bell. That dog is probably subscribed to the channel. Why aren't you?
Dog's fat as shit.
And make sure we'll be back next week to talk about the Super Bowl after it had happened. And then also listen to the radio show every Tuesday. Today's episode was something, but we'll be back next Tuesday doing other stuff too. So thank you for watching. We love you. We will see you next time. That's the end of the episode. Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.